So we will be recording the session so that we can share it later on, and if anybody who's missed out can watch it later. And at any time, feel free to chuck a question in the chat. Fantastic. We should probably get started. And if people join in the interim, that's fine. We don't mind people popping in. So thank you for joining us for Empowering Software Developers, a webinar about how to upscale your OutSystems career. We're all here because we work with OutSystems in one way or another. And it is a career opportunity that you sometimes have to stop and look and say, where am I going next? And this is a really good opportunity to stop, look at your career and say, what are my next steps? So tonight I'm doing the welcome now. I'm Cecilia, I'm your host. I'm doing the welcome. Then we're going to pass over to Ana Reis, who is going to be talking about navigating training for OutSystems career acceleration. She works with ITUp in Portugal, and she's been working on the OutSystems platform for a long time. She's been working with it since, was it 4.2, version 4.2, Ana?
Yes, 4.2 when I started.
She knows her stuff. She's very well versed in this platform, and she's very much a great font of knowledge on the topic. And then a little bit later, we're going to have Leonardo Fernandes, which some of you might know from the OutSystems community. He's currently #1 ranked in the world. He also helped build 4.2, and he has been with OutSystems, working with OutSystems platform for a very long time. So you've got two veterans of the game here who are very well positioned to give you great advice on your career, because they've both had and are still have very good careers. So just a little bit of housekeeping. So we're very casual, it's very easy, but instead of like popping in and asking a question verbally, if you could pop it in the chat, even while our presenters are talking, they're happy to address questions as they're going. You don't have to wait until the end. We will have a Q&A at the end, or some time for you to pop in and ask a question. So just mute yourself if you can, so that we don't hear dogs barking in the background and planes flying low and things like that, so everybody can hear. And we like to see your reactions. There's a little emoji face at the bottom of the screen, and if you wanted to put a thumbs up or a clap or a laughy face or whatever, it's always nice to be connected with everybody in the group and let us know what you're thinking. And the title is located at your place because this is virtual. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and Anna's going to take over and talk to you about OutSystems careers. Thank you, Ana.
Thank you, Cecilia, for the introduction. And hello, everyone. It's really good to be here with you today. I'm going to start by giving you an introduction about myself, because the goal of this meeting is actually to know about OutSystems careers and what we can do as an OutSystems career. So I'll give you a quick overview of what I have done that could be one of your careers, and I will want to know a bit about your expectations to where you are at this moment on your OutSystems path. So I have some questions here for you in a few minutes, and based on that, I will like to introduce you to what we have in terms of training that could help you on this path. So a bit about myself. I started working with OutSystems 15 years ago in 2008 as a junior OutSystems developer. I was recently graduating from the IT from an IT course, but this is not mandatory nowadays for working with OutSystems. So I started as an OutSystems developer, and I started in a consulting company that gave me the opportunity to work in really different areas. And this is one of the things that I love the most in my career, that I had the chance to know different businesses, different realities, always doing and growing my abilities as an OutSystems developer. So I went from retail to insurance, banking, utilities, all types of business areas. Growing from a starting as a junior developer in 2-3 years, I was already a more senior developer and start mentoring some other developers. And a few years later, I started as a tech lead and a Scrum Master, growing in my projects and always growing my skills. What I was saying, it is interesting for me that I had the opportunity to work with different business areas, and this is one of the, in my perspective, the main advantages of the platform is that as a developer here, you are not just a technical developer, you have a close connection to the business, okay, and you have the chance to either specialize in a business area or have different realities according to what you prefer. Okay, that's the path that you choose to evolve. Later on, and I was working on the consulting. Why did I join training nowadays? I'm head of training operations at ITUp, but before that I was a trainer, in an OutSystems trainer, and this can also be an opportunity for a developer to grow. There's a huge, still huge lack of OutSystems developers in the market, and 7 years ago I was working in a consulting company, and we were always struggling to give to have developers on our teams. So we either were looking for people that already had the experience, or we had to hire junior developers and to give them proper training. But it was not easy by that time to give proper training to junior developers, because we were in our own projects. We were always fully booked and focusing on our tasks, and we had to move away from our projects to be able to give training and to help the juniors to grow in the technology. So this was something that I felt that needed to be solved. And at the moment, I believe we have powerful tools to solve this. There are training partners in place. ITUp was the first OutSystems training partner, and it's the most global one that delivers training all over the world. We deliver training in partnership with Phoenix, that is hosting this webinar, and this is also why I'm here. And we created together with OutSystems, we created several programs to address this concern. Okay, so I think now we have formal training that can help you grow your career, starting from the start if you don't have experience in OutSystems, but also to grow your skills if you are already a developer and you want to grow for a different path. Okay, so let me know a bit more about yourself. Let me share a quick slide here with you with the 3 questions, just to understand in which path of your career are you, and what are you looking for to grow. What are the topics that you prefer to explore to grow, so that I can then present you our roadmap of training and what can help you grow on that. Okay, so I have Slido here. Are you seeing my screen? Yes.
Yep, it's come up now.
Okay, so you can access Slido through the QR code with your phone, or enter the number on the slido.com. Just 1 or 2 seconds to everyone to join. And I started. Yes. I'll just leave the number here
QR
in the
code
chat.
not working for me, but I'll join by the website.
QR code not working?
Yeah,
Okay.
weird. Maybe it is for somebody else.
I guess it's not working to me too.
Hmm.
Okay, this seems to be the same one.
But if
You
you
can
go to
start a pool.
slido.com, it should work once you put the number in. Yeah, it's working once you put the number in on slido.com.
Okay, okay, perfect. Okay, so you can please give me your answers, which best describes your current experience with OutSystems. So I'm experienced OutSystems developer seeking career growth opportunities. I have some experience with OutSystems and want to advance my skills. I'm a professional in a non-technical role interested in understanding OutSystems for career exploration. Okay. Okay, a lot of experienced OutSystems developers here now, what I can see, 50% of and answers. Okay, so I can see most of you already had contact with OutSystems and have some experience and are looking to grow your career at the moment. So let's move to next question. What aspects of OutSystems are you most interested in learning about to accelerate your career? So you can choose several options here: developing and designing OutSystems applications, architectural principles, performance optimization and best practices, integrating OutSystems with other technologies, mobile development. We have more here, front-end development. Okay. Okay, interesting. So you're mostly looking to advanced training as tech lead or architecture and integrations. Okay. Okay. So shall we move to the next one and the last one, I promise? What specific challenges or obstacles do you currently face in advancing your OutSystems career? Why are you looking for help on it? So limit access to relevant learning resources, difficulty staying update on the last OutSystems features and updates, uncertain about the most sought after skills, seeking guidance on creating a strong OutSystems portfolio, struggling to network and connect with experienced OutSystems professionals, or you're good at it?
I guess one more thing you are missing here, according to me, it's also for the fresher. There are lots of hurdles to get any opportunity because if you look for the if you looked at the portals, job portals, there are lots of things that you get there on the company job posting description.
Mm-hmm.
They need actually they need at least 2+ years of experience in a candidate. So in my case, if we practically discuss about it, that in my case, I joined an organization in February 2023, and after 7 months, something happened and they let off me from their project. And since then, it's 2 months from September. So I applying for the, I'm looking for the opportunity, but I'm not getting yet any opportunity and any company who consider my profile as a junior developer, right? So it's also difficult. It is quite. I wanted to discuss
Okay.
about it. Yeah.
Yes, to gain the initial experience,
Yes.
it's sometimes difficult. Mhm.
Difficult. Yes.
One good thing that the community has nowadays is a volunteer program that uh, can have two sides. You can, from one perspective, be helping to create applications for company for ONGs and for specific causes, but you are also having the opportunity to work with the platform and to explore the platform. And sometimes this could be a good way for you to gain some experience by yourself. Okay, if you look to this type of programs.
Yeah, but we could not. The problem is we could not mention in our resume that we because if you become a part of the company, then you can mention that particular years working range in your resume. You cannot mention your own practice timings in your resume. It is a problem because in
Mhm.
in September 2022 I joined developer school itself, right? So since then I was working on few projects which is given on the some resources. So it is not calculated
Mhm.
professional working timings or years or months, I guess.
Okay,
So
I
this is the
understand.
problem.
That, that's something that I believe is changing in some regions. I'm not sure, you're from India. I'm not familiar on how it's working there, but the goal of
Yes,
having
yes,
training and of having a path here of training is actually also for the companies to be able to ramp up their developers and start looking for really juniors, not people that has 2 years of experience, but people that recently graduated, and they can, with this type of programs, they can ramp up their developers, for instance, for in a month, for them to be ready to start developing in a project. So thank you for all your answers in the pool. I think we're moving now to, let me just look into this sensor limited access to relevant training resources, difficulty staying updated on the last OutSystems features and updates, and uncertainty about the most sought-after skills in the OutSystems job market. Okay, let's just stop this pool now and let me share what we have in terms of training roadmap that can help you individually or as a company to ramp up your developers, and also to go ahead and move to more advanced areas, like several of you were mentioning in the pool, that you are looking for go a step ahead on your career. Let me just see in terms of time how we are here. Okay. So to start your career, and going to what Arshad was saying, there are nowadays some courses. Phoenix and ITUp offer these courses, and there's also longer academies that allow you to ramp up your path in OutSystems. For instance, Core Ramp Up is a 3 weeks program that not only gives you the fundamentals of development in OutSystems, but already gives you 2 weeks of experience in a project. It's a tutorial project that will allow you to put in practice all the concepts and have a feeling of how it is in the real world scenario. So we believe these type of programs allow you to be ready or closest to be ready to start working on a real project. And where you want to go after already having an associate reactive developer level, and you have several options here. You can go more for the architecture integration best practices, principles of web development, that also applies to mobile development, and you have already courses for it, base architecture, advanced reactive developer, that will give you all these concepts and allow you to become professional developers later. Or you can specialize in specific areas, and you can become a mobile developer or front-end developer. And you have also offer to cover these courses. And this offer is OutSystems has the official bootcamps, and ITUp and Phoenix will always have the opportunity to complement these contents with the more practical content, more hands-on content. That gives you the experience of a project, and this is a good advantage for you then to start your projects. And some of you already mentioned the tech lead path, and you want to become a tech lead. And there's also a bootcamp training offer that allows you to grasp all the contents for becoming a tech lead, architecture, a bit of DevOps, best practices, and a lot of agile in the process to manage your teams. And this will give you the tools you need to understand what a tech lead has to do in a project and the concepts that they need to consolidate. Besides the reactive path, there's also offer for the traditional version of the platform, and there are some interesting complementary courses for other paths, like ODC. If you are just starting or if your company is just starting working with the platform, they'll probably want to go to ODC instead of the 011 version of the platform. So there's also training for that, and you can do the ODC bootcamp, ODC developer bootcamp, to learn this new platform. And if you are not a developer, or you want to move from a developer to a different type of role, for a more operations role, you can also become a platform ops engineer or a DevOps engineer, and nowadays there's also offer to cover these courses. So I will share this roadmap with all of you in this session, in the end of the session or after the session. And if you have questions about the type of training that we have here that can help you on your path, please just reach out to one of us from the organization of the webinar. We'll be happy to help you on this. Now, I want to hear from you if you have questions about this topic. I think do we have time for 1 or 2 questions, Cecilia, if they come up? Okay. No questions?
I think the questions got asked during. It's always a good thing.
Yes.
We're always open to discussion because at the end of the day, it's the discussion where we get the greatest insight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Anna,
If you have any questions about your specific case, what should you do? You can reach to me after this session. I'm happy to help you understand the best options for your path. For your
okay.
goals.
Can people contact you on LinkedIn, or how is it best for people to get in touch with you?
They can contact either on LinkedIn or by email. I'll drop my email here.
Fantastic. That's great.
So feel free.
Awesome. Okay, and a lot of communication, email and LinkedIn makes it easier, doesn't it? Okay. So thank you, Anna, for your insight. That was really good. And it's also good to see what people are interested in with the poll. So we're moving on to Leonardo Fernandes, who works for PhoenixDX with myself. And he's a tech lead. He is an MVP, and a lot of you know who he is. And I'll leave for him to do his presentation. Please take over, Leonardo, and everybody's waiting to hear what you have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cecilia. Okay, so I'm going to talk about learning continuously to further your career growth. And first, well, Cecilia already introduced me, but let's start with some more introduction. Why should you be listening to me to give you advice on your career? Well, that's not what I do typically, but I guess my career has been very good so far. I joined OutSystems back in 2006, so I have a lot of experience in the OutSystems, in the technology. And back then I worked in the engineering department. I then moved to services as a consultant in 2013. I also became a teacher for a short period of time. Might think that's not really relevant, but it is. We'll see. I became a part-time teacher in 2015, and now an MVP since 2016. There was a brief moment for less than a year where I was a Java developer. Again, doesn't seem like extremely relevant, but it is. And I didn't really like Java, so I then joined Phoenix and went back to OutSystems in 2018. Okay, so this is kind of my career since I started working. When Cecilia asked me to do this presentation, I kind of pushed back a little because I'm very conscious that everyone has a different path, and I'm pretty sure most of you will not join OutSystems in the beginning of your career. So there was an element of timing or maybe luck in my career development, where I joined very early in this company, and then I stayed with the company throughout my whole career. And then I struggled a little bit, and I went into some kind of philosophizing of trying to find out what was the reason why my career, I could grow and in many levels up until now. So I tried to asking this question and trying diving deep on this question. What was the fundamental reason why I could grow in my career? So I struggled a little bit to find the answer. was it because I joined OutSystems? Well, that played a role, but I think it wasn't really the reason. If I joined a different company, I would probably be very successful in that other company, provided that I enjoyed what I was doing. So I came to this conclusion that one thing that I see that helped me grow throughout these years is that I stayed continuous learning. Okay, and as you probably all know, the tech industry changes a lot. Has been changed since it was first, created, more almost 100 years ago, and it's always evolving. If you don't learn, your skills will become obsolete, and companies will be demanding new skills that you're not going to be able to provide. So to join this industry, or to stay a long time in this industry, you need to be continuous learning. It can also help you adapt to new technologies. So for example, on OutSystems changed to reactive, there was a brand new technology and it was new to me. I didn't have experience with reactive back then, but I learned, and I stayed on top of the changes of the industry, and was able to adapt to this new paradigm. And when you've been offered new roles that require different skills or different responsibilities, you also have to adapt. You also have to learn new functions. And it also helps you in life to adapt to new situations, moving countries. You may have to learn new languages, new cultures, etc. Yeah, so if you make a habit out of learning, then you'll be prepared for the industry. Okay, I guess it's the best advice that I can give you. And so since I dove really deep into this, what's the underlying reason to become successful, I actually think this applies to any technology, not just OutSystems. So this will be kind of general advice for you. It definitely applies to OutSystems, but it could also apply if you want to, learn new technologies or new hobbies, etc. So what can you do to practice this learning and keep it as a habit? Well, first thing, there are training and certifications. Some of them are free. So OutSystems has some learning courses online for free. Some of them are offered by ITUp, for example. And so in my opinion, you should use these as a starting point on your career to get started, to have a better and solid understanding of the technology. Keep in mind that this is offered to everyone, basically, especially the free content is offered by anyone. So you're not going to be standing out just by consuming the free content. That is kind of like the ground level for your learning. It is good to have something more specialized, like the ITUp certifications, so that you have a more solid ground. And there's also some specializations also from ITUp and from OutSystems. And the specializations are, not everyone is able to achieve, or not everyone is interested in all specializations. So if you acquire some specializations, that distinguishes you from everyone else. It will also make you seem more valuable to employers. So that should be pretty clear, I guess. The next thing that I've been practicing since I joined the industry is having pet projects. So this is something on your own time that you invest into learning technology or consolidating a technology. And the idea is that you create a project, a personal project, for you to train your knowledge on this technology. If you can help others by doing that as well, as I always try to do, that's great. So if you can publish new components on Forge, that always contributes to the community, but most importantly, it contributes to yourself because you're learning, you're practicing the technology. This will also keep you motivated into learning more and into specializing in this technology. Okay, and depending on your components that you publish on Forge, for example, for recruitment, that's one thing that I look in candidates is I look in their Forge profile and see the components that they worked on to see what kind of ideas they have, what's the level of contribution to the community. So you'll definitely be starting to stand out even more than having a specialization. And this is very important. Stay curious. I guess maybe that's a key factor on me. I love learning new stuff, not just technology. I also learned, at some point I learned photography. At some point I learned music. Now I'm learning a few things of biology, physics. The idea is that helps you with the habit of learning. So you always exercise, the brain is not a muscle, but the analogy is almost there, that, exercising, the brain is like flexing your muscles. It grows bigger, figuratively speaking, and you'll be able to absorb more information more easily. Read articles on the web. There's lots of free content, very good content. YouTube is a great source of information, at least in my opinion. Write, as if you think you're good at writing. I'm not very good at writing, but I do that sometimes. It takes me a long time to write something, but I enjoy writing. It's just it is way outside of my comfort zone. And yeah, and then when you need to learn a new skill for your job, then you're prepared because you're constantly learning, even outside of your job. And don't be afraid to experiment with new things. Lots of my pet projects, they arise from experiments that I do. I'm not really sure if I'm going to succeed with something or not. Most of them I don't succeed, and then I just abandon. But a few of them that I think the idea is helpful, I end up creating a pet project out of it. Even the ones that I fail and that I abandon, I typically learn something from it that I can apply later on. This distinguishes good developers from average developers. Every technology has multiple levels that you can learn. You can learn on the surface level and being able to create applications. That is great, but a really good developer is able to learn in multiple levels and dive deeper into the levels of abstraction of the tool that they are using. So for example, if you're using a Forge component, maybe you're using Forge component for an animation or for some requirements that you have on your project. A really good developer will take the time to understand how the Forge component works. And that's helpful because sometimes if the Forge component has a problem or is not really fit for your requirements, those developers are able to customize the components and even contribute back to the Forge component. It's important that you don't simply fix a bug. It's important that you understand what is causing the bug, because each bug might have multiple fixes, and some of them might just fix the bug on the surface, but deep down, the root cause of the problem is still there. So again, good developers take the time to analyze the bug and try to dive deeper into what's causing this bug. And doing that exercise allows you to learn more and more about the technology from top to bottom. This is something I do. I enjoy doing, but I have to admit there's not much space professionally to just, revisit old work, especially if it's working, it's already delivered. Project is closed, then we don't look at old code. But especially on my pet projects, sometimes I revisit really old projects. I find interesting things that I wouldn't do today. So that is a good reminder that I've been learning new things and that I've made some mistakes in the past and I know better today. I wouldn't repeat these mistakes. So it helps reaffirming the learnings that you had. And it also provides a good free exercise, a very easy exercise of, it's code that you worked on previously. You should understand, or you should have an easy time remembering that code. And I'm pretty sure if 2 years have passed, you're going to see lots of mistakes or things that were not really, did not really fulfill the purpose that you intended. The exercise is, well, what happens if I spend some time in trying to improve or trying to fix some of the issue that I could only find after delivering the project. So I've been working a lot in the PDF generator, Forge component that I have, and that project went through multiple iterations. On each iteration, I'll almost redesigned the entire thing. It's probably not very visible, or most people don't know that, but there's a lot of effort involved into revisiting old code, seeing what are the problems that the users are reporting, how these problems map to the code that I wrote to identify the mistakes, and trying to work on better solutions to solve those mistakes. Ask questions. So part of this presentation was me asking questions. Why am I in the position that I am today? What enabled me to grow in my career? Asking why multiple times allows you to go deeper into your understanding and reveal more deeper causes or more deeper truths about what you're inquiring. When a bug is reported, ask why was this bug reported? Maybe this user is using the application using a different pattern. Maybe they are using a different device. Maybe they have some accessibility issue that correlates to the problem. So asking why always reveals more information, allows you to learn more about the problem that you are trying to solve. When you're handed requirements, if you don't ask why, you're just the average developer. You should ask why I'm being asked to create this screen or add this button into the screen. What is this button going to achieve? How is it going to help users or help the organization achieve some goal? You will learn a lot about user behavior just by asking why. And you will learn a lot about your company, how it makes businesses, how it creates opportunities. And last, I mentioned I was a teacher for 2 years. That taught me that it was only by teaching others that I knew that I knew. So until the point that you feel comfortable to teach others what you know, you're not really sure of what you know. So that very last step of you teaching others not only closes this loop that you're going to teach others and empower others to start their journey into learning, but it also consolidates your own journey, and you will feel like you know everything when you can answer all questions in a classroom. And sometimes I can do that. Sometimes I still get some questions that I don't know the answer, but that also triggers learning paths to try to answer those questions. That's what I had for today. Any questions?
Great, thank you, Leonardo. So do we have any questions for either of our speakers? You can ask anyone, anything. We have a lot of quiet, curious people today. You can put it in chat if you were too shy to come onto camera. Could I ask each of you, both Ana and Leonardo, Ana first, what would you say is the one qualification that made the biggest difference to your career progression in OutSystems?
I guess mine was tech lead certification. Because most of what I do nowadays is managing other developers, and that started that learning path. It didn't end. I'm still learning nowadays, but it started that learning path of working in big teams and managing other developers.
So that's the one that when you look back, you just go, that was a turning point.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And Ana?
For me, the turning point was when I looked into training with different types. So when I became a trainer, and I solve my inner questions about how can we help all these people that want to learn OutSystems and want to start in this market and then don't have that opportunity. So when I became a trainer, I became this to fulfill this need that I felt during the consulting period that was missing, and that was a turning point for me.
So did you not? So you didn't know until you did that course that was like your passion. Like that's the course gave you the direction to find your passion.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Can I ask you, Ana? I don't know the answer for Leonardo, but I will ask him as well. How many qualifications do you have? I don't know the answers. I'm not being facetious, but I'm just like, do you have a load of qualifications? Do you have a couple? Like, what's the deal?
I have a lot of OutSystems certifications and also some additional ones like Scrum Master from and the technical trainer from other areas, not only OutSystems, but I focus a lot on having the OutSystems certifications because this helps me keeping learning and growing. Like Leonardo was saying on his presentation, even if nowadays I'm not developing or teaching that much, I still feel the need to keep learning and be updated on the technology. So I try to go for new courses and to have the certifications. More than the certification, it's the knowledge that I got from preparing for it. So I'm always investing in having an updated curriculum on that.
Fantastic. Thank you. Leonardo, same question for you. How many qualifications do you have?
I'm looking at my profile, and it looks like I have 17, including certifications and specializations. That is a lot, but again, the tech lead in my case was the inflection point in my career. I guess I would be happy to achieve that in early on in the career. I think it was a good outcome.
So would you both say that if somebody is like a fairly new developer, that it's more important perhaps early in the career to get more certifications than maybe later on, because you might then find a good job opportunity and have a good groove, find a good company, but in the beginning to differentiate yourself to maybe get a couple more qualifications that you might have thought of getting?
Yes, again, the certifications, well, you do have, certifications are not free in OutSystems, so that already distinguishes you from the big group of OutSystems members. But I guess the specializations would distinguish you even further. Yeah.
Okay, so we just have a question in the chat. And it's someone, they're in a noisy environment. I'm going to say, is it Laru? I hope I'm saying that correctly. I don't want to offend anybody, but it looks like a beautiful name. They're saying they couldn't turn on their mic. Could you please tell them how a beginner in ODC can enhance their knowledge and experience?
So there is a certification. Anna, do you want to talk about the ITUp offers?
Yeah, there is in ODC. There's a course, a bootcamp course for learning the ODC basics to develop with ODC, and there is a certification associated to it. There's not a lot of content yet for more advanced topics, if that's what you may be looking for. If so. For that, you'll need to go with the other strategies that Leonardo was mentioning, to be curious, to explore, to do your pet projects, because it's really a recent area. So for sure, training will come up soon as this becomes to be more present in our customers. But at the moment, you have, in terms of training, you have the initial bootcamp that gives you the practice as a developer, and for other topics you'll need to explore for yourself, to look for some content that may be coming up online, but still not that much structured. Hopefully in the next month we'll have other things about that.
So in the meantime, experiment, play, make mistakes, learn from mistakes, start pet projects.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Very good advice. Hanno, you've got your hand raised. You've got a question?
More a comment than a question. So thank you for the opportunity. Great presentation, Ana and Leo. And I think you both raised really, really valuable and valid points. If I may just share some personal experience, the way that I grew in OutSystems was to get involved in the forum, in the community. So granted, that was 6 years back, the community was very much smaller, but trying to answer questions on the forum, and I'm trying to address Lairu and Arshad's question earlier about how do you get that experience, right? So Leo mentioned that in his presentation as well, just building things, pet projects, stuff like that. But what do you build? So a good approach is look at the forums, try and answer the questions, not by giving a quick answer. Try and understand or recreate the problem initially to understand what the person, the challenge is that they ran into, and then try and solve that. Even if there are questions on the forums that already have solutions, see if you can recreate the solution. That way, you really learn to understand the platform, what it does, how it's put together, because you don't get the exposure to everything in your job where you're in the project that you're working on. That's the reality. Me personally, I got stuck in old traditional web projects many years ago, and the way that I opened up my experience or gained more experience was to go in my spare time, so either late at night or early in the morning, depending on the time zone. I would do extra projects. I would go onto freelance websites. Sure, I didn't have a lot of experience, but over time you build the experience. But that's one way as well you can get exposure and build your capability as a developer, is reach out to companies. Because on freelance websites, there's a lot of companies that look for short-term resources. They don't necessarily look for 1-2 year contracts. So it's a good opportunity to get involved in different countries, different projects. Yeah, just wanted to put that out there as well.
Really good feedback. That's great. Thank you. And Hanno is also an MVP, so another great source of information for all of you. Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, we've got one in the chat here. Do you have any information on where I can find a company's sponsored program for hiring, training, and developing individuals in OutSystems development, specifically tailored for those with some knowledge and experience in OutSystems? Additionally, are there companies actively hiring entry-level or junior OutSystems developers?
In Portugal, there are a lot of companies already starting doing this. I don't know the reality in Australia at the moment, if this is the case. But as a training partner, ITUp offers these programs also to companies, so that they can ramp up their developers. So they can, and we are seeing more and more companies recruiting their teams and going through these programs to ramp up the teams, to get them ready for project in a month and things like that. So in your area, in your location, I don't have an answer for you, but I believe this is something that is growing now.
Cool. Thank you.
In Australia, I can only talk about Phoenix, which is the company I work for. We do have active hiring, and we also hire junior developers. We have inside of the company, we have a structure that allows you to get training, on the job training, and also get certifications sponsored by the company. So if you look for positions open by PhoenixDX and apply, there's a very good recruitment team. I believe Alan I saw him join the call. I'm not sure if he's still here.
Yeah, I can't see.
I think so. I don't think so, but we have a very good, great recruitment team that will take care of your application.
Yeah, keep looking for those entry-level jobs. It's a really good way to get your experience up. So, any other questions? I think we've probably reached time. Thank you both for presenting tonight, Ana and Leo. And so my takeaways personally from Ana's was that regardless of whatever career path that you want in OutSystems, there is a course there to support you in that journey. So do look at the PhoenixDX website and the ITUp website to see courses in different locations around the world that can support your desired results in your career for the next 12, 24 months. You know, it's a good time of year to reflect on the year that was and decide where you want to be next year this time, and start focusing on what qualifications you need. These courses are not only just an excellent opportunity to learn, but also to network, to meet other developers, to find opportunities, and to get noticed. Qualifications get you noticed, and it gets you seen in a very crowded market. So the qualifications are going to help you. And my takeaways from Leo was that curiosity is king. Keep playing, ask lots of questions, experiment, fail, make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, go back and look at your failed projects. Why did they fail? This is a great way to learn. And that's sort of on the job, on the project training, because it's not always just jobs. You can go and build things for the Forge. You can get into community groups and do outside of work development that's really going to fuel your curiosity. It's going to advance your career prospects, because you'll also meet people as well. And at the end of the day, networking is a really valuable way of furthering your career. So take a holistic approach to your career. Don't just think of the development, think of other things that you can do to enrich your career. It's important to learn outside of the box. Don't just think outside the box. So thank you everybody for joining. We will be putting this recording out later on if anybody wants to revisit anything. You can get in touch with any of our speakers on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to them and ask questions. And thank you for taking your spare time to be with us today, and good luck with your future endeavors with your OutSystems career in 2024. I can't believe this year is nearly over. It's crazy. So now that we're at the tail end of the year and the tail of the evening for everybody in Australia, please go home and have a great evening in Portugal. Have a great day, and we'll see you at our next event. Stay tuned. Sign up for Dev Tips on the PhoenixDX website. You'll get emails that are telling you about these events, supply you with dev tips and other OutSystems related information. So have a great evening, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.